Shalom, brothers and sisters. Today I'd like to cover the increase of knowledge. If you go with me to Daniel 12 verse 4 and then 8 and 9. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Although I heard, I did not understand. Then I said, My Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. Many shall be purified, made white and refined, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Now there's a lot that can be unpacked in these verses, but the important thing is the words that he was given were shut up until the time of the end, meaning at the time of the end we would understand them, and right now we're understanding them. Running to and fro did not even make sense to him at that time, why many would be running to and fro. For us, we completely understand this, and knowledge shall increase. We're going to look at two reasons behind this. One, global knowledge, and more importantly, scriptural and prophetic knowledge of these words, which is why they are no longer sealed, but understood by us. And then he confirms this by saying, I did not understand, because he was not in the end, and these knowledge had not been increased about these things. They were sealed till the time of the end. The wise shall understand. We are being made purified and white and refined, and the wicked at the moment are doing wickedly, and none of them understand or see the times that they're living in. In 1900, worldwide knowledge doubled every 100 years. In 1945, worldwide knowledge was now doubling every 25 years. In 2020, worldwide knowledge was doubling every 12 hours. In 2022, we can't even quantify how many times it's doubling in a day. AI has now become a viable and worldwide phenomena that also impacts knowledge and development, affecting all levels of society and life in ways we can't even fully comprehend right now. Mankind is developing multiple ways to interface himself with technology and machines to further push the limits of retained and new knowledge. So in 1900, every 100 years it was doubling. In 2022, multiple times a day. It is shocking how quickly knowledge has increased. The Wright brothers, 17 December 1903, 119 years ago at Kitty Hawk, the two brothers who owned a bicycle shop flew their homemade airplane, the Wright Flyer, Wilbur and Orville. It flew 4 times and covered a mere 6 kilometers. All right? Then we move to Chuck Yeager, 14 October 1947, 75 years ago. Chuck Yeager, a test pilot at Rogers Dry Lake, broke the sound barrier in the glamorous Glennis, a Bell X-1. This was the first test aircraft and pilot to break this record and live. Okay? Neil Armstrong, 21 July 1969, 53 years ago. Neil Armstrong in Apollo 11 became the first man on the moon. This was broadcast across the world and inspired millions. From the Wright brothers' first flight to the breaking of the sound barrier, 44 years. From the breaking of the sound barrier to the moon landing, 22 years, exactly half of 44. The speed at which our knowledge increased and brought about these groundbreaking changes is not even comprehensible if we think about it clearly. How is it that we as a species took thousands of years with minor changes, and suddenly, in the span of 120 years, we've leapt ahead so far that we've left the planet. It seems unthinkable. And yes, we can look into all the stories around that. Did we even really land on the moon, etc., etc.? But you know what? The technology is what I'm talking about here. It has leapt so far ahead in 120 years, after thousands of years of tending sheep and ox wagons. Many shall run to and fro. On the 1st of January 1914, the very first passenger airline took off and flew just over 20 kilometers to its destination, starting a new trend and ability to travel anywhere with speed. 180 years later, and people are flying all over the world constantly. Many own their own aircraft and spend time all over the world. Air travel and people is generally moving around like never before, large scale. We've arrived at many shall run to and fro. Until the time of the end, we are living in the end. Knowledge has increased. Many run to and fro. Daniel says he doesn't understand, and the Lord confirms it's not for him. Many shall be purified, made white, refined, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Knowledge of the prophecies and the word shall increase for the wise, and they shall understand. Never before have so many prophets and teachers and watchmen been picking up so many revelations and understanding, pastors and everybody in ministry suddenly grasping concepts that Daniel himself, that even spoke them, couldn't conceptually grasp in his time. Because we are receiving that knowledge, and those things are being opened up for us to understand, because we're living in those end times. The wicked do not understand, and they won't. They're living as in the days of Noah and Lot, eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. They're scoffing and laughing. They say everything's fine, peace and safety or security all the time. No matter how many signs are shown, they acknowledge none and they mock. Like no other time in history are the minds of the wise and faithful being opened to understand prophecy in the times we're living in. Scripture has become a living fountain of life and revelation to all who seek His face and guidance in these times. The closer the day comes to the gathering of the bride, the more is revealed and the more we understand. Lastly, 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 17. Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and thus we shall always be with the Lord. Therefore comfort one another with these words. People, no matter how difficult it is in the days ahead or currently right now for many of us, no matter how much we're going through or facing, be comforted with these words from 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 17. We will be caught up in the air and we shall meet Him there soon. It is upon us at any time. In the blinking of an eye, we could hear the trumpet and the voice saying, "Come up here. It's done. Come and rest." I, for one, cannot wait. There are no shackles or things holding me to this earthly plane. All I want is to see my King in His glory and to be done with the insurmountable amount of evil and darkness washing over this planet. Let's rescue and save and get the message out to as many as we can in the time we have left. God bless. Have a great day and shalom.